So welcome to our today's session. For those who are new on the platform, my name is Marian. I'm a software manager in the business. I've been around for the last 13 years building this business. And background, I'm an accountant. I joined this business way back in 2010 when I was working. I was just shown the concept by a friend. I saw, I loved the concept, but I didn't understand much. So that was 6 months down the line. I was just there because I had loved the product. I never thought this business can be able to give a serious income. But in January 2011, I decided to embrace the concept and run with it. 6 months down the line, the story changed and I decided to embrace it in a serious way. 5 years down the line, I resigned from employment and I started building this business full time. So today, as we meet here, I have been able to collect some of the things I've been able to see that can be valuable as we build this business, especially by empowering the team I'm building on a daily basis. And today I'm talking about some steps we need to be able to take, especially when we are prospecting. I've realized that, yes, we can be able to prospect, we can be able to talk to people, but one of the things is I know we're asking ourselves, how comes we are not able to do, it in a perfect way? So today we are going to talk about steps for a successful first meeting with a prospect. Steps for a successful first meeting with a prospect. That is the reason why I was telling you, anytime I say about a team CISO, kindly just invite your friends because you don't know what kind of topic I'm going to talk about. But today we are going to talk about your first meeting with a prospect. So when we talk about our first meeting with a prospect, the first thing you need to understand is, yes, you have made that phone call or you have prospected that person maybe from the social media, or maybe you have just called them from your contact list. So now it is time you expose this person to the kind of business you are talking about. You want to expose them to our business. So you have already arranged, you have already called this person, you have already booked a one-on-one, and you are going to meet this person. There are so many people who freak out during this session. They don't know what they're supposed to do. Yes, somebody has said, yes, I've agreed, Marian, I'm coming tomorrow at 10 o'clock. I'm coming to see you. But during that time, they already freak out. So you have already arranged that appointment. Now you want to go and meet with your prospect. And, you need to be able to understand and know, what am I going to do when I meet with this person? And there are several steps which you need to be able to take so that you can be able to make this meeting, a successful one. The first thing you need to do is you have just gone to that place you had arranged to meet. Maybe it's a restaurant. Maybe you have called them to the office. Maybe you have gone to meet them, maybe somewhere, even maybe in their office. But one of the things is you need to understand that the first thing you do when you meet with this person, you need to break the ice. You need to break the ice with some small talk. Remember, this is somebody you knew. This is somebody you have talked to on the phone. This is somebody maybe you are doing it, maybe it's a video call. Maybe you are doing a Zoom meeting. But because this is the time you want to expose this business to them, there is no way you can just start and say, what is forever? You can't do that. The first thing you need to understand is you need to break the ice with that, with that small talk, because this is somebody who is your friend. Maybe you knew each other 5-6 years down the line. Maybe you were together in college. Maybe you met in a restaurant somewhere. Maybe you met in a wedding. So there must be something which is common, which made you to be able to meet this person. Was it through the social media? There is the post they had posted, and there is something maybe you are discussing on that wall. Maybe that is what you are going to break the ice with. So this is very easy. So you can start with the weather, your place, is it raining, something like that. And you realize that you need to be able to even to look at the opinion of that person, depending on the kind of topic you are talking about. You don't need to overthink so much for you to be able to come up with something you can be able to discuss, but you need to be able to warm this conversation. You need to be able to keep it very simple, very positive, so that you can be able to light that moment, so that you can be able to relate with that person. After that, you need to thank them and at the same time compliment them. It is very important for you to be able even to compliment how they look. You thank them for coming. Maybe they're wearing a good shoe. Maybe they have a good suit. Maybe they have done a good hairstyle. Maybe they have an expensive wig. Maybe they have a beautiful shoe. It is the time you are going to thank them for coming and showing up for the meeting, and at the same time for the way they look. Express your genuine gratitude for their willingness to meet you. Try taking a moment to notice some of the specific things which they, so that you can be able to complement them, and be aware, because this is somebody make sure that you are knowledgeable enough to know the things they like and they don't like. At the same time, don't be that touchy, and give them a compliment which will be able to make them frown or retrieve from the conversation. Be very careful. After that, now you need to be able to rest in the conversation. And now through this kind of conversation, as you are in that mood of passing this conversation, you need to be able to transit to the business conversation. But how you are going to transit to the business conversation, it is through your personal story. Remember, your personal story is very key, because remember, there is the way you met this person. Were they looking for a product? Are they looking for the business opportunity? That is how you are going to pass your personal story as you are talking, and you are after the compliment, you need to be able to transit, because that is what they were looking for. There is the reason why you have come to meet them. So when we talk about our personal story, you realize that you need to be able to know to engage this person, and you can only be able to engage with a small personal talk. Now it is the time for you to be able to get to the business part of the conversation, and you get to be able to remind them the reason why you met. It was because of the business. It was not because of the ABCD, the things you talked behind there. It was because of the business. So you let them know that the reason why you were meeting them is for the business, and you can be able now to share your story. Now, John, the reason I wanted we meet today is because I would like to share a business conversation with you. But before you dive in, first you want to be able to tell your story. So you need to also be able to be equipped all the time with your story. And remember, your story never changes. Why would you be able to use your story? Because stories will be able to open your doors. It is very good because it opens up empathy, especially if you talk about your story from the time when you started the business, how you embraced the opportunity and what it has been able to do. It will be able to open some bit of empathy, because maybe you are working in an office together with them. They know the kind of, harsh conditions which were there, the kind of salaries you were earning, and the kind of dreams you had, you guys, and you knew very well through this kind of employment you cannot be able to achieve your goals. So it opens empathy, and at the same time it opens your prospect to be receptive in whatever you are going to share at that moment. So when you share your story, make sure that you share a story which is somehow related with what this person is talking about, but at the same time it should be based on your personal story. It's also a fantastic way of showing your prospect, the vulnerability of challenges which are out there, and at the same time, the success which they can be able to embrace. Because many times when we are talking to prospects, we can only be able to talk about maybe beautiful things, but we also should be able to show them, the kind of challenges which we have there. Because we know very well, especially when we talk about the world of today, yes, people have jobs, but these jobs cannot be able to make ends meet. At the same time, you find that we are facing a lot of challenges, especially right now, we are being subjected to a lot of taxation. You find that every day you cannot even be able to budget. How much money can I be able to receive at the end of the month? Because maybe a new taxation, slot will be able to be pushed even to your payslip. So you don't know what is going to happen. At the same time, you find that when things are very tough, even employers, they have a tendency of even delaying that salary. So what are you going to do with your kids? How will you be able to feed them? Because you find that the more, the situations become tougher, the more even they can be able even to say, we used to pay at 30th, nowadays we'll start paying on 5th, but there will be a serious gap. So you'll find that there is delayment of salaries. At the same time, that salary is not enough. So those are things you're supposed to be able to express. At the same time, stories humanize you. And at the same time, they are not just a business proposition. And when we talk about the prospect, seeing you as a person and with the history and the experiences you are talking about, they will be able to relate. They will be able to settle down and listen to whatever you are going to share with them. This is not likeliability of them being able to trust you. We want them to be comfortable. We want them to be relaxed. We want them to be, to be able to be open-minded as you share this concept. So when we talk about our personal story, this is something we need to continue working on it day in, day out, so that we can be able to perfect. So how now are we going to share this personal story like a pro? The first thing is, when you are sharing your personal story, remember always to use the 4 parts of a story concept. The first thing is you talk about your background, who you were, and before you discovered this company, you discovered the network marketing concept, before you discovered Forever, what were you doing? You need to be able to talk that. You talk about your background. Yes, they may know that you are an accountant. You may talk about where you were working. And then, at the same time, you need also to be able to talk about the situation back then. Talk about what you didn't like about the situation you were then. When you were when you were working, at the same time when you were in your job, the financial, situation you found yourself, the quality of life you were living, you need to be able to reference back so that they can be able to see the transition from the time when you identified this company, the background you had. Yes, you had a beautiful career, you were doing very well, but before you discovered, before you discovered the network marketing industry. But at the same time, you need also to be able to discuss the situations, because everybody maybe thought I was very happy working every day, going to the office as an accountant. I was a financial controller. I could report anytime I wanted, but at the same time, there was pressure of work. I can be able to report at 8 o'clock, at 9 o'clock, but when the reports are needed, you must deliver. So there are those days you'll be able to work even, but let's say like 10 hours, 12 hours, especially during audit time. If you are an accountant and you are in this platform, there is no sleeping. During audit time, there is a possibility to be able to sleep 2-3 hours, because every time when you are going home, you have already been given with some queries, which you need to be able to respond to the auditors the following day in the morning. So you find that you work very long hours and it's not easy. So those are things you need also to be able to explain here. Talk about how you found this solution and how you have been part of this company, this industry, and for how long. Talk about how you are feeling now, how you are excited about the future, and thank the opportunity of network marketing, the Forever Business opportunity, for opening up to you. This is very important for you to be able to do this, because this will be able to give you a platform for you to be able to show the person how they can also be able to transit and be able to have a smile on their faces like you do. So after that, remember, be prepared now to share the opportunity. And that is the reason why the one-on-one comes in very easily. Because one of the things is you find that when you are sharing this business opportunity, many times don't rely on just going and explaining the business when you have nothing in your hands. People may not be able to trust you. So you need to be able to have some materials with you, some third-party tools, which are ready for you to be able to show this prospect. Ideally, you want to be able to have something which is tangible, something which is provided by the company, so that even as you explain this business concept, then they will also be able to relate, and they will see this is a company which already have a base. It's a company. The things they are telling me, yes, I can be able to read. The things you are telling me, I can be able to relate. Maybe you can also be able to share a short video. You can even watch the short video together with them. You may even be able to have a magazine, a product brochure. You can be able to have the physical products, because when you reach a different types of products, you can even be having some of the products you have carrying them in the bag, so you can be able to show them. You can even be able to do a demo, because remember, this somebody is at your disposal. Maybe even you have called them even into your house for them to be able to see the concept, or you have gone to their house. At the same time, you need also to be able to have the conversation plan, which is printed out, especially when we talk our one-on-one. You can be able to show somebody our conversation plan, how they will be able to grow from, maybe when they signing up is absolutely free. You'll show them how they can be able to become a preferred customer. After they become a preferred customer, you show them on how they can be able to transit to an assistant supervisor, to a supervisor, to an assistant manager, to a manager, maybe to a HIGO manager. All those incentives you can be able to share with them. You can also be able to draw some circles for them to be able to see how they can also be able to bring the numbers and for them to be able to grow through the marketing system. This is very important for you to be able to do. And remember, third-party tools is a must for you to carry. So if you have been going for one-on-ones and you are not carrying, you are beating your prospect and you are not carrying any materials with you, how will they trust you are in this company? How will they be able to believe, because you have nothing in your hands? Maybe you think that, a pen, and a notebook will be able to draw those circles and this person will be able to understand. Yes, I know you are very knowledgeable and you can be able to do the one-on-one without even looking anywhere. But the reason why we use these tools is for them to be able to believe, to believe in the company we are presenting. So out of that is you find that having to, something to show for them, it is a very good way of educating them, because they also know that personally I don't have this knowledge, but if there are tools which I can be able to use, it will also be very easier for them to be able to trust you and know, if I follow this, this journey I'm being told today, if I join this company, there are tools which can be able to help me. There are things which can be able to support me also to build the business. So I'm not coming to struggle to cram things here so that I can be able to be an expert like this person. So, because I know many times you have gone and to do a one-on-one, and by the time you finish, they ask you, how long have you been in this business? And guess what? During your personal story, you talked about how long you have been into the business. But by the time you finish, they ask you that question once again. It means that the method you have used to explain the business is very complicated. So they're asking, they want to know, how long have you been able to study all these things you are talking about? And how long will it be able to take them for them to be able to talk the way you are talking? So you always show the third-party tools so that, things like the product catalog, you can talk about the company video clip, you can talk about the company, the compensation plan, the available support system, which is on the ground for them to know that when I come, I will be supported. When I come, I'm not going to walk this journey alone. When I come, there are trainings, which is on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday. I can be able to plug the people into the system. When I come, I'm accessible to even the top leaders. I can be able to talk to them. I can walk into the office anytime and I can be able to get somebody who will be able to talk to me. If I am asking a question about the product, there is somebody who show them the WhatsApp groups, which we have already created, whereby they can be able to be plugged into the WhatsApp groups, and they can be able to ask questions. They can be able to respond. Even they can be able even to share the ideas they have. So those are some of the things you need to be able to share with these people. It's the things you are supposed to give this person from day one for them to be able to feel they are included, to feel that they are part of whatever you are sharing with them. So from there, we need to be able to, call to action. This is somebody who have already presented the business. You have shown them the business overview. You have shown them the business presentation. You have shown them the product. You have shown them the company policy, the company compensation plan, the business opportunity, everything. It's already intact right now. And you can see from their faces, they're already, convinced this is something I can be able to do. So from this point, you realize that you have already told your story. You have shared the third-party tools. And at the same time, you have answered many of the questions they have been asking. It is the time for you to be able to wrap up this conversation. So what is going to happen? This is the time whereby you'll be able to ask the prospect to be able to measure, is he cold or is he hot? And if it is, if it's hot, at what temperature, you need to be able to know, to gauge, is this person a A, B, or as type C? So you need to be able to look at that. So you guide them through a conversation so that you can be able to know, what are they thinking? Have they been able to understand something from what I've been able to present? Can I be able to ask them questions, which will be able to give me leads? So from a scale of 1 to 10, you can be able to ask John, if you were to get involved with this kind of a business, how many hours would you want to be able to invest? Are you going to do it part-time, or you can be able to do it full-time? That is something you note down. If you were to get involved in this business, will you just do it part-time or full-time? You write it down. How much will you be able to earn if you were to do it part-time? And how much would you expect to be able to earn when you are doing it full-time? You also need to ask them how many hours are they willing to be able to invest in this kind of a business. I know these are some of the things we don't ask the people we bring. And that is the reason why you find that you have brought people into the business and the kind of production they are doing, it doesn't make sense. Initially when you talk to this person, it was very, should I say, very excited. They wanted to join the business. They wanted the results like yesterday, but you didn't ask these questions. They don't know the commitment level which is required for them to be able to build this business. You need to be able to ask them whether they are building the business part-time or full-time. You need to be able to ask them what is the expectation, depending on what I've shown you in the marketing plan. What kind of an income do you think you can be able to earn? And what do you think will be comfortable if you were to do it part-time? What will be comfortable if you are doing it full-time? How many hours are you ready to be able to invest in this business? And how many months do you think you are willing to give so that you can be able to earn this 100,000 you are talking about? How many months are you willing to work so that you can be able to drive this car you are talking about? You are talking about how many hours from the the company compensation plan? When you look at it, how long do you think you can be able to work for you to be able to raise $500,000? How many how many hours and how many months are you willing to be able to work for you to be able to qualify maybe for the international trips? Because you will have already explained to them what it takes for them to be able to achieve those results. So when you're asking this question, you are asking them with reference with what you have already discussed. If I could show you how you can be able to get this money in this time of months you have said, will you be able to, will you be willing to take the next step? But I know many times what really happens is you have just finished one-on-one. You have not asked somebody these questions. The next minute, you are just giving them the link to sign up. And that is where we are going wrong. So we need to be able to adjust and see, can we be able also to ask these people questions before even they sign up in our teams? Can we be able to go with them step by step for them to be able to understand this is what is required for me to be able to build this business? So in conclusion, you find that don't worry about being perfect. I know you have looked at those steps and you are like, Marian, can I really be able to do this? Marian, I don't know how I can be able to do my personal story. By the way, Marian, I don't know how, I don't like carrying things. I don't like carrying, the first on one. I like just carrying a small handbag, How will I be able to carry all this? So don't worry about being perfect. Don't worry about messing up when you meet with this person, especially if you are new in starting the business. Because many times even you don't know, maybe you are not sure even what is, maybe what am I supposed to carry? Just follow, try as much as possible to be able to follow the structure on how you can be able to introduce a business to a new person, especially following these steps. There are guidelines on how you need to be able to go to meet a new prospect. The more presentation you do, you will be able to get better. As you journey this journey, you will be able to get faster on how you can be able to go through all these steps. And at the same time, you will be able to get more people who will be able to listen to this, to your presentation as many times as possible. Because once you do it the first time, you do it the second time, you do it the third time, you realize that you can be able to do this. So the more times you'll be able to present this presentation to as many people as possible, the more times you'll be able to learn on how to book a one-on-one and go out there and meet your prospect, the more, you'll be able to sharpen your skills. And I've seen many people asking me, Marian, how can I be able to share this business with somebody? How do you share the products? How do you share the business? And it is very simple. It is because the reason why you are scared is because you have not been able to try even to book that appointment. You need to book the appointment and go out there and meet this person. Immediately you meet this person, you will be able to realize that it is something you could be able to do as many times as possible. And you will never be scared again to go out there to meet new people. So when we talk about prospecting, it is a very key, skill which each one of us needs to learn. Because you are building your business in network marketing and you are not able to prospect, you are not able to do a good one-on-one, it means that you have challenge in recruiting. And as long as you have, you don't have numbers which you can be able to sponsor in the system and, bring new people on board, which you can be able to build to the next level, it means that you will only be relying on the business of retailing. And when you are, if you rely on the business of retailing, it means that you are limited. You are limited in the kind of income you can be able to earn. You are limited with the kind of business you can be able to build, because it means that it is only you who can be able to bring production in the system. So if you want to be able to benefit from the power of leverage, the first thing you need to understand is you need to learn on how to do your name list. Your name list is very key. From there, you need to be able to know how to contact those people. And from there, you invite them to a session whereby you can now be able to talk to them. So if you are new in this business, the first thing you need to do tonight is to work on your name list. Because maybe I'm talking about how you will be able to meet a prospect and you don't have even one which you have at the back of the mind. Because many times when we sponsor people, they just pick the phone and they can see they have over 300 people. But when did you call these people? When was the last time you called these numbers? There are numbers in your phone which you have not called for the last 1 year. There are numbers in your phone which you have not called for the last 2 years, because there is no need of calling them. You didn't have a reason to call this person. But when you come into our business, the reason why we tell you to do a name list, when you are going through your phone and you are going through those numbers, you will be able to meet names of people who you can be able to relate with. People you talked with them even maybe when you were in the office. People you talked to them maybe when you met somewhere, maybe in a wedding. Somewhere maybe you met even somewhere maybe in the church, and you have not been able to talk to them. So the reason why we say that you do a name list is because it will be able to bring some fresh memories as you go through that list. Now you have listed these people, you need to be able to profile them. And when you are profiling them, it will also be able to give you an overview of remembering who was Marian, why did we meet, what did she say, you know. Even when you are calling Marian, you will be able to ask her some few questions so that you can be able to know what is she doing currently. How can I be able to approach Marian to be able to do this business? Then from there, you'll be able to book an appointment with Marian to see whether you can be able to, to close for the business, proposal. So don't go in that meeting believing that I will meet Marian and I will be able to have, I have a prospect and is already at 2 case credit. Don't go with that mindset. Go with an open mindset of knowing that I'm going to explain the business concept. They may receive it, they may reject it. But at the same time, is make sure that you meet with as many people as possible. So you need to be able to book appointments with your friends, with your relatives, with your neighbors. And that will be able to happen. If you structure your business, you need to be able to structure your business in such a way that there is a system which you are following. There is no an overview. You can be able to look at your booklet and see this is how far I've gone. Don't be the kind of a person who will just keep on going back and calling the same names every time. Why? You will end up getting, frustrated. That is the reason why you find many people join network marketing. And what really happens is they keep on calling the same names until they are frustrated. They just leave business. Because at the back of their mind, they knew Marian can do this business. And if Marian fails to join my team, it is like, it is the end of me. But if you had listed so many names from your phone and you have also gone ahead and, added other names as you went by, because remember, if you remember Marian, used to stay with Catherine. You remember Marian in the office, she used to be with Monica. Marian used to be with John in the office. Marian used to be with Peter in the office. So you'll also be able to add those names. Why? Because if I come and meet Marian, I know, yes, Marian was a friend to Irene, but maybe Irene will not, Marian will say no. So if she says no, I'll be able to tell her, kindly, can you give me the number for Irene? Because she'll say no. But if she says yes, I will tell Marian, remember you used to be very close to Irene. I think we need to meet Irene next week. Remember you used to be very close to Peter. We can meet Peter next week. You have seen the way the marketing plan works. You draw the circles. Imagine we need to be able to identify 5 key people in this business. And guess what? I can help you. Because remember, we were working in the same office and you used to get very along with Monica. By the way, how is Monica doing? Can we be able to meet her for a one-on-one? And imagine when we are talking about these numbers, I know many of us in this platform have been thinking that this is something which is very hard for us to do, but it's not very hard. It is for us to be able to open up our minds, and have a positive mindset of knowing that I can be able to sponsor as many people as possible. And there is no limitation of how many people I can be able to bring in this business. You only need to open up your mind. Even today, just go through your name list. Not even your name list, your phone. Transfer those names on a piece of paper. Just pick a booklet and transfer those names. I will tell you every name you will be able to write. As long as how you collected that name, it has some meaning. You will be able to remember 2, 3, 4 people who were together with that person. You will be able to see how the possibility of you expanding your network to as many people as possible. So when we talk about this business, is for you to be open-minded, for you to be able to look at things in a different view, for you to be able to look at things, in a way whereby yourself, it's like you are an empire. You are looking forward on how you can be able to equip as many people as possible. And when you have that mindset, it will be very easy because the opportunity will just be able to flow. You will find yourself meeting as many people as possible. You will find that you are doing so many one-on-ones. You will find that you are closing so many orders. And by the end of the day, you will go home smiling. And I know there are people in this platform, who will be able to wake up in the morning and they're asking themselves, who am I going to talk to? And that time, your phone has over 6,000 people. You're asking yourself, who are you going to talk to? And you have a name list, you have listed names, but you never even dared to call them. So where are we today? As we start this week, and as we get, we create momentum for us to be able to close the year. Remember, we said for the next 2 months, we need to step up. And the reason why we are stepping up, we are not going to close this year the same way we started. Remember, we only have November and December. That is what we have in Kenya. And actually, Kenya, Uganda, we only have November and December. Because I know everybody understands where we know the reason why we are saying this. But imagine we have November and December to be able to close the year in a different level. We need to level up. Maybe you are asking yourself, how am I going to level up? Are you an assistant supervisor? Maybe you are novice. You need to step up to an assistant supervisor. Are you an assistant supervisor? You can step up to a supervisor. Are you a supervisor? You can step up to assistant manager. Are you an assistant manager? You can step up to manager. Am I a manager? Yes, I need to step up. From the work I've been doing, I need to be able to close as a real manager. And a real manager in Forever is somebody who has done 120 case credit within a period of 2 months. So if you are a manager and you are in this platform, you need to be able to stretch and see how you can be able to do 120 case credit within a period of 2 months. So when you are telling your team, they need also to step up. Don't imagine I'm a manager, I don't need to step up. I also need to step up. If from January to December, there is no time you confirm to your manager step, you need to step up and confirm your manager step. Because it means that by the time you are closing the year, you are not a manager. If you are a supervisor and you are here, and for the last 12 months, you have not been able to do 25 case credit within a period of 2 months, you need to step up to be a real supervisor. If you are an assistant manager, is 75 case credit within a period of 2 months. So if you are maybe an assistant manager is in this platform, you need to step up and be a real assistant manager. That is what I'm talking about. And I will tell you, once you do those things, you'll be very happy. Are you here and you have been struggling with your 4CC? Your step up can be just confirming that in November, December, I've done my 4CC. You will clap yourself. You'll appreciate yourself because that is the goal you have given yourself. So let's look at how can I be able to level up? As Marian, how can I be able to level up? As Jane, how can I be able to level up? As Carol, how can I be able to level up? Because your leveling up is not the same way of what I'm thinking. But guess what? In our business, we are our own boss and we can be able to dictate what we want to do. But what I'm encouraging you is to do something which is going to excite you, is to do something which you are going to see. In November, I was this. In October, this is what I closed at. But in November, this is what I've done. And in December, this is what I did. You know what? How are you going to remember 2023? How will you remember 2023? Basically, as business builders, we need to close 2023 in a positive note. So look at what are you going to do as a person. From my hand, I want to tell you thank you, because I said I will be keeping very short sessions of 30 minutes. We have spent 32 minutes. And unless there is any question from on board, let me just go and see whether I can be able to give people a chance for them to be able to unmute. Yes, now you can be able to unmute. If you have any question, kindly, if there is any question, you can unmute and ask. Any questions? Any person with a question? Tumelewa na prospecting. Tumelewa how to do a one-on-one. No, how to go and meet that prospect, actually. That's what we are talking about. How to meet a prospect. Because I've met people in the warehouse, and they're saying, hey, kulikuwa na mgeni alikuwa akuje leo. And by the time, that guest comes on board, somebody, they have disappeared. And you hear them calling you from downstairs and telling you, actually, I'm unable to go. I've just gone for a delivery and I have I had a prospect and they're already at the warehouse. I will tell you, anytime you tell me something like that, I normally know very well you are just scared to meet them. 90%. 90%, I will tell you very well, there is nobody who can tell me there is a prospect who was coming and you have decided to go for a delivery. Imagine in delivery, you are going to collect, maybe you are delivering an halo. You are going to collect maybe 1,000 Kenya shillings. And you are meeting a prospect who can be able to build a business and become, become the Gobile of Africa. And then you tell me you have gone for a delivery. No. That one, we are not going to be together. That one, I normally say it is like you didn't want, you are scared of meeting this person. Yes, you called them, but you are scared of meeting this person. Unless somebody in this chat tells me, no, Marian, I think here you are wrong. So one of the things, what I will tell you very well, anytime you call your helpline and you tell them, Marian, you know what I was expecting, Jen, you know what I was expecting a prospect, like in nimeenda delivery. No. I will tell you, all the managers on this platform will tell you it is because you are scared. So I want us to stop being scared. It is better you tell me, Marian, I'm here, I have a prospect. Can you come over? You do a one-on-one to my prospect. Because the reason why I will do that one-on-one with a very, when I'm very excited is because I know you are seated there and you are learning. But don't send a prospect to your upline and you are not there. Make sure that you are there so that you can be able to learn from what your upline is doing. Let's learn to do that. Let's learn to do that. Anybody with a question? I can see here. Thank you, Agnes. Who else? There is Agnes. There is Elika. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your comments. Thank you so much. So if there is no any question, I would want just to wish you a beautiful week. I've said the first thing we need to do after this meeting is to go back to our name list. If you have not offloaded your phone contacts to a booklet, that is the first assignment. Then you start profiling them. And then now you can be able to start booking one-on-ones. I will tell you, the leaders in this platform, we don't mind. We don't mind doing our one-on-one again with you. We don't mind going with you for our one-on-one for your information. Especially if you have decided you want to start building the business afresh and you want to be able to go with me for the first 5 appointments, or you want me to be around when you are doing your one-on-one, I don't mind. We are ready to support you. As leaders, we are ready to support you. But remember, numbers is the game changer. As long as you are in network marketing business and you don't have numbers, you will remain the same position. But when you bring numbers, there will be a magic in your business. There will be, that growth in your business. Because imagine today you have just done 1 case credit. Imagine if you had 10 people in your team who can be able to do something similar. It means that you could have done something like 10 case credits. Actually, it should be 11. Because you have 10 people in your team who are doing 1 case credits, and plus your 1, that is already 11. Imagine that kind of production. The other day we were talking with another leader and we were saying, we are looking forward for the day when you will just open your system. And today you were at 20 case credit. Tomorrow you wake up, they're at 40. The following day they're at 60. The following day they're at 100. That is what used to happen. So one of the things is for us to be able to reach at those levels, we need to be able to look at how can we bring numbers. Numbers will be able to transform our lives. Let's look at how we can be able to bring numbers, because numbers is the game changer in network marketing concept. Otherwise, from my hand, I want to wish you a beautiful week ahead. Very, very productive. That's what I can tell you. And remember, we are getting on 25th. Is it? Yes, on 25th, we have a serious meeting at Reinsurance Plaza. We have a level up meeting whereby we are talking about how you can be able to move to the next level. And we have said, for you to be able to move to the next level, for you to be able to move to the next bracket of production, it is numbers. So if it is numbers, we have created an event on Saturday, that is on 25th, for you to be able to invite your friends, your relatives, and even all these people you'll be doing one-on-ones this week, you can be able to plug them into that event, for them to be able to see the bigger picture about Forever, and at the same time to see the kind of excitement on the ground. Because in our business, actually we do the business with a lot of fun. There is nothing, it is not that serious, it's not that serious activity, but you realize that the kind of relationship we establish with the people we bring on board and the way we work will be able to bring production on the ground. So let's invite as many people as possible. And I wish you all the best as you build your business. Thank you and be blessed.
Thank you.
Karibu sana.